Welcome this morning. This is an exciting day for a lot of people, especially one person. I'd like to welcome all of you for joining us this morning. It's a very important event for the Marshfield Fire and Rescue Department as well, so it's nice to see a good crowd turn out. Before we get started, I'd like to point out the members of the Police and Fire Commission. To my left is William Pinker, Stephen Meek, Steve Steingraber. We've actually had a little bit of excitement in the last week or so, and then we had named a new police chief earlier in the week. So this will get everything off our plate, and we can go back to cruise control again, back to normal. But we're here this morning to publicly announce that we've selected a new fire chief for the Marshfield Fire and Rescue Department. Without a doubt, we've made a very good selection. It was unanimous, and there were a lot of reasons why we did. But a little background on the individual is that he's originally from Eau Claire. He has an associate degree in fire science from Fox Valley Technical College in 1998. He was hired with Marshfield Fire and Rescue Department on December 8th, 1997, so he's got 24 years in with the department. The Bachelor of Science degree in Fire Service Administration in 2017. He was promoted to Relief Lieutenant in 2012. Promoted to Deputy Chief Fire Prevention in 2017. He's actively involved in multiple committees throughout almost all his entire career. He's the first Vice President of the Wisconsin State Fire Inspectors Association. Take it that you'll be the big cheese eventually, huh? First Vice President. Leadership Marshfield graduate in 2019. And he's here with his wife, son, daughter. Okay. What we used as a criteria for choosing a new chief for the department is to continue the leadership that the department is used to being under Chief Owen. There was an opportunity for Pete to fill a position as an assistant chief, as a acting chief for the department in the absence of Chief Owen for a few months. And that gave us an opportunity to see what a good job Pete could do besides what we already knew up to that point in time. We had an opportunity to go out looking for an individual from outside or choose from within, and there's a clear choice again from the Police and Fire Commission that we promote from within, and we're very happy to announce today that we promoted Deputy Chief Pete Fletty to Chief of the Marshfield Fire and Rescue Department. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you Pete Fletty. Debbie Hall, City Clerk, will administer the oath of office.
Raise your right hand. Say aye.
Aye.
And repeat after me. That you, Pete Fletty,
I, Pete Fletty,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the municipal code of the City of Marshfield,
and the municipal code of the City of Marshfield,
and will perform the duties to which I have been selected
and will perform the duties to which I have been selected
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
So with that, Chief, we have a badge for you, and you're more than welcome to Depends on him. You've ever done that
Thank
before.
you.
You should give my wife a weapon.
We trust.
I hardly feel any pain at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the new fire chief for the Marshfield Fire and Rescue Department, Chief Pete Fletty.
Are you guys expecting me to say something? Thank you all for being here. I promise to make this quick. We all have things to do, places, well, some of us. Most of us have places to do. Especially my daughter Ava, who should be sitting in AP Gov right now. I tried to talk her into staying there, but she wanted to be here, so thank you for being here. A lot of thank yous to go through, and please bear with me. I wouldn't be here without the support of so many people that have helped me along the way. First of all, to the Police and Fire Commission, President Myers, Vice President Anker, Secretary Meek, Commissioner Steingraber, and Commissioner Keogh couldn't be here today. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the confidence you showed in me to be the next fire chief of the Marshfield Fire Department. I won't let you down. I'm so fortunate, again, a lot of people have been supportive of me throughout my entire life, throughout this whole process. I'm so fortunate to have such a supportive family. Christina, you've always been supportive. Through times like these, you've been there to listen to the rough days at work when I get home and have to vent a little bit and talk about some tough calls and some tough things that happen. When it comes to decisions like these, such as deputy chief promotions and relief lieutenant promotions, and specifically this one, when I ask you what you thought and letting you know that it's going to be more time away from family, your first response always was, well, what do you think? What do you want to do? What goals do you want to pursue? You've always been there to support that, support me moving up the chain, and I can't thank you enough for that. You've always been there for our family and for me, and thank you. To our kids, Nate and Ava. Over the years, missed a lot of holidays, Christmases, Thanksgivings, vacations, family time. It's just part of the job. And never once did I hear either of you two complain or ask why. It was just you guys just kind of rolled with the punches, and you've been supportive in that way. And you've both had to sacrifice a lot for Dad not being there for a lot of things. And I'm so proud of you both, and thank you for your support as well. And my sister, Heidi, who's here today, and brother-in-law, Tony, they drove down from Wausau through the ice, and again, support. They've always been here through thick and thin. Whenever we needed something, you guys have always been there, and I hope we've done the same for you. You can't cry, Heidi, because you're going to make me cry. Thank you so much. To the department heads that are here, I saw Steve Barg around somewhere. Where did you disappear to? Steve Barg, Chief Gerink. I look forward to sitting down with the department heads and pushing City of Marshfield as a whole together forward. I really look forward to those meetings and moving us all forward as a city. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Lori Anzer. What can I say? You are the most positive person I know. You are the hardest working person I know. You're here early. You're here late. Even though we tell you to go home at 4:30, you say, yep, I'm gonna leave. 5 o'clock, you're still here. I want everybody to know that she is the most positive, most hardworking person I've had the pleasure of working with, and I'm so glad you accepted the administrative assistant position here. So thank you for all you do. Just looking around the room, Deputy Chief Clements, Deputy Chief Bacus, Deputy Chief Jonas, and Troy, who couldn't be here today. You've all been so supportive through this process, and just being there as an administrative team, I couldn't ask for a better team. I really couldn't. You guys are friends, colleagues. We work together really well. And it's so lucky to be able to work with each of you every day. You know, I've learned a little from each of you, and kind of taken that with me. So you guys helped shape who I am today, so that's your fault. Seriously, thank you. I appreciate all you guys do and who you are and what you do every day. Chief Owen, you have no idea how grateful I am to you. You took me under your wing back in 2017 when I was DC and really showed me the administrative side of the house, and have been a mentor, a great leader here at the fire department. I take a lot of those characteristics from you. You did a fantastic job. I know you didn't leave on your own terms or the way you wanted to, but just know you really helped this department and pushed us forward and kept us moving forward. You've been there for me, both professionally and personally, and I'm happy to call you a friend. So thank you for being here today. I'm looking around the room. I've got Dave Patton, some of the retirees, Rod Bauer. I hate to miss anybody here. Looking around the room, you guys, Rod, you were the most mechanically inclined person I've ever known. Probably still are. Great MPO. Dave, same. You guys were kind of two peas in a pod, both mechanically inclined and great MPOs. Looked up to you guys my entire career and appreciate all you guys did, and thank you for being here today. Really appreciate it. And to the firefighters standing in this room, wow, what a turnout. I hope you guys feel the same way that I do, that there isn't a day that goes by that I regret this career choice. I hope you all feel that way. This is one of the best careers in the world. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it's tough. You have to miss family events like we talked about earlier. You have to miss concerts, football games, sporting events, you name it, with your kids. It's tough. There's calls that are going to stick with us for the rest of our life. Tough calls. I just want you guys to know you are appreciated and valued, each and every one of you. I think that what makes the difficult parts of this profession, the tough calls and you know, the missing time with family, is that we are indeed ourselves family. And I think that's what separates Marshfield Fire and Rescue Department from any other fire department I know of, or any other profession I know of, is our culture, our family-like atmosphere. It's second to none. And Heidi, I hate to do this to you, but there's only one way I can describe the first time I realized that. On May 14th in 2002, I was at the old station working. I received the worst phone call of my life. I was out back, actually. It was after hours, after working hours, after duty hours. And we were sitting out back. I was actually stringing up a fishing pole and getting ready to go fishing with my dad the next day. And a bunch of us were out back and we were talking and you know, just a normal day. Deputy Chief, I believe it was Deputy Chief Huber at the time, came out to the back and said, "Pete, you got a phone call. It's from the Eau Claire Police Department. Your dad's missing." He immediately took me into the office. He went with me. He was right there with me the entire time. We went back to the office and I took the phone call. I still remember the police officer that day. It was Officer Piper from the Eau Claire Police Department. He said, your dad is missing. We believe he was involved in a boating accident. After I got off the phone again, Deputy Chief Huber was right there with me. Again, family. He said, get out of here. Go, we've got your shift covered. We'll take care of it. And away I went. And went and picked up my son Nate, who was 1 at the time, my wife Christina, picked up my sister, and we went to Eau Claire together. Now, little did we know it was going to be 14 days before he was found. And that's time that I had to be away from work. I received a few phone calls from my family, my brothers and sisters, firefighters. And it wasn't, hey, when are you going to get back to work? It was, we got your lawn mowed, took care of your dog, we got your shifts covered. Don't worry about it. Concentrate on what you have to do at home. I didn't have to worry about a single thing. It was another week and a half or 2 weeks that I spent in Eau Claire as well, just planning the memorial service and helping with family and getting that together. Once again, never had to worry about it. But keep in mind, I had 4.5 years on at that time. I didn't know everybody that well. I didn't. I knew my shift pretty well, but I didn't know the other 2 shifts all that well. When it came time for the memorial service, I let the department know, and almost the entire fire department showed up to Eau Claire, drove all the way there to be there for me and my family. And that is the time that I realized that Marshfield is different. We really are. That's what separates us from any other department, is our culture, our family. To top all that off, when I returned back to work and it came time to talk to the people, I looked at the calendar to see who had traded with me and taken my shifts. When I went back to them and asked them, hey, when do you want me to pay you back? I was told by every single one, you don't owe me a thing. Unbelievable. It is what separates the Marshfield Fire Department from any other department. I know every fire department considers themselves family, right? But this department goes above and beyond. It's our culture that makes us different. It's our family-like atmosphere, and I can't hammer on that fact enough. That very culture, that was back in 2002 that happened to me. That very culture still exists today. It's carried through the years. I hear it in the hallways. I hear the laughter in the hallways from my office. Belly laughter. True belly laughter. I know the work is getting done, right? It gets done every day. You guys work your tails off. But we have fun when we do it. And that is so uplifting to hear from the hallways. To further point out our culture and how it's different, we're putting together a promotional video for our fire department. A lot of fire departments have done this recently because there aren't as many people going into our profession as there used to be. So we have to come up with extra ways and ideas to get people to apply, even for the fire service in general. And I'm sure the police department's kind of the same way. You guys are experiencing the same thing, and it seems like it's all over for every industry. So we're putting together a promotional video, and a group of our firefighters got together and had a meeting, and I was supposed to be part of that meeting, and I somehow double booked with something else, and I couldn't attend the meeting. Later that day in the hall, Hannah approached me and kind of pitched the meeting, pitched the ideas that they were going to come out with. And, we talked about the firefighter poses with the crossed arms and the fire and putting out fire and smoke and all that other stuff in the action shots, and that's all well and good, and that's great. What the committee came up with for a main topic that made Marshfield different, they wanted to focus on why you'd want to work for the Marshfield Fire Department. And what they pointed out is they wanted to concentrate on our culture, on our family-like atmosphere. And that made me so proud and so happy. I'm like, yes, run with it, do it. What a great idea. I'm excited to lead this fire department into the future and continue to help foster that sense of family, that our culture, and keep that moving forward. Our fire department is filled with really talented firefighters. I'm looking around the room, talented paramedics, leaders coming up through the chains. We're set really well. We're set really well for the future. I can't wait to sit down, as shifts or as a group and talk about our goals, where we want to be in the next 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years down the road. And it's going to take some blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm sure there's going to be a few hiccups along the way. There always is, right? But that's how we get through things, is working through it together and sticking together and keeping our culture intact. I'm looking forward to what our future holds. As a community, we've come a long way as a fire department, right? We've got some pretty cool fire trucks out there, some pretty new equipment. I remember when we got our first thermal imaging camera, guys handled it like it was a piece of rotten cheese. I mean, what is this thing? This is a gimmick. We now have these thermal imaging cameras on our air packs, or on every single air pack. Technology-wise, the fire service has come so far, and moving forward faster and faster every day. We'll embrace that technology and move forward. But as a community, we still respond to fires where there's still no working smoke detectors. We've been pushing that message forever. Fires are more toxic, more volatile, spread faster than ever before. In the 1970s, you had 17 minutes to escape a house fire. Today, 3. That's due to the materials that are in our homes nowadays, and we have to make sure we're pushing that fire prevention message forward. Have your working smoke detectors in your home. And we'll continue to push that message. I want to couple that with homes are now built with lightweight construction, which makes it really dangerous. Collapses occurring faster than ever before. And that puts our firefighters in danger when we enter the homes and try to put out the fire. So again, fire prevention, we have to spread that message and continue to emphasize that message. Like I said, we've come a long way over the years, but there's still a lot of work to do. And I look forward to making Marshfield Fire, this community, the best it can be in the years to come. Thankfully, we have a community that is supportive of us, supportive of the needs of the fire department. We can work together to improve life safety in Marshfield and property conservation, take advantage of other social media and other means to spread our fire safety message. I believe in the staff, I believe in this community, that working together we can get all this done. With that, I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being here today. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a great day, able to get back to school. Thank you very much.
That concludes our presentation of the new fire chief. Thank you again, everybody, for turning out. You said I'm sure he appreciates it. And we'll continue to move forward with confidence, and Pete leading the department as time goes on. So, thanks again.